Hello, Void. The Wheel of Time is my favorite story of all time. I love it. Loved it ever since I read it in middle school. It's part of me. That love is unconditional. It will never stop being my favorite story. But as the show has been coming out with its ups and downs, I've had to navigate that unconditional love and try and figure out why I like The Wheel of Time so much. And I did find a reason. I read a lot of fantasy books in my time. Stormlight, Lies of Locke Lamora, Red Rising. But of them all, The Wheel of Time has the best thematic cohesion. Sure, it may not have the best words, it may repeat the braid tugging and the mustache knuckling a bit too often. But when it comes to thematic cohesion, The Wheel of Time is certainly the best to ever do it. Did you guys know that if you press the subscribe button for a channel with less than 1,000 subscribers, it glows blue? Now, that's probably a lie, almost certainly deception. But it could be true. Only one way to find out. Subscribe! Okay, so what is thematic cohesion? Besides a term that I definitely made up, thematic cohesion is a story's ability to make different parts of itself relate to the theme, to the central purpose. And themes can be a bit hard to narrow down. Many stories, especially ones so long, have many themes. I mean, Stormlight tackles stuff like depression, but also histories of violence, tensions between groups, etc. But The Wheel of Time, well, while it does cover many different things, it does have one central axis, one central conceit, one central theme, and that's fate. How do we as people navigate within fate, and what do we feel because of that? The Wheel of Time is about fate. In the story, time is a wheel, ever repeating, with each person a thread being woven into a vast and intricate pattern. It's lovely, really, a great metaphor, and one that extends to all aspects of the story. Let's start with the core of any story, the characters. I think you can most clearly see where fate comes into play in The Wheel of Time with its characters. In The Wheel of Time, characters are always being woven back into the narrative, beyond just our main perspective characters whose stories are integral and complex. All the characters have their fate woven back into the narrative incredibly. Let's take some examples. First off, Bail Doman. Bail Doman is a riverboat captain we meet in book 1 when Matt and Rand are on their journey to Camelin. He shows up for like 2 chapters, then disappears when they leave the boat. Next book, he's in Falm and makes plans with Egwene, Nynaeve, and Elaine to get them out of the city. One simple callback, easy. Yet later on, he shows up again in Ebu Dar, helping Matt. And much later, towards the end of the series, he's married to one of the core Shan-Chan characters, and he even has a presence in the final book. Bail Doman is there at the end, a character, a part of the story. And this reweaving isn't unique to Bail Doman either. It exists with other characters. Let's take the firework lady, Aludra. In book 2, Matt and Rand accidentally stumble into a fireworks factory in Kyrian and blow that shit to Kingdom Come. Later down the line in book 3, Matt runs into one of the people from the fireworks factory, Aludra. She invents matches and gives him bombs which he uses to open up the Stone of Tyr. Like 6 books after that, she shows back up again as Matt is fleeing Ebu Dar and joins with his Band of the Hand. She creates cannons, which eventually act as one of the cornerstones for humanity winning the last battle. This relatively insignificant figure, who in any other story would have been a one-off, is woven back in again and again. That's thematic cohesion at work. That's why The Wheel of Time reigns supreme in my eyes, this story of threads weaving into each other. All of the characters, which are canonically threads in the pattern, are that in the text itself, woven back in again and again. And this is what the book is trying to say. This is a series where a horse can be considered God because the horse shows up everywhere. Bella, my goat, starts in book 1 at the 2 Rivers and eventually is key to blowing the horn of Valir in the last battle. It's an incredible tapestry of a story. It's beautiful. You may not be convinced, so let's take this to its logical extreme. Even now, I don't really get the Dark One. The ultimate evil of the Wheel of Time is shrouded in so much mystery, in such distance. Not a demon or some evil man, the Dark One is a force, an eldritch god peering into the many worlds of existence with nothing but unrivaled hatred. Why is this the villain? Wheel of Time is a human story, a story of people, of characters. Why are they fighting something so alien? That's because the Dark One is not the enemy of the dragon, it's the enemy of the pattern. The Dark One is the antithesis of everything the Wheel of Time stands for. It's the force of entropy on the pattern. In other stories, this might be some sort of decay or magical calamity, but in this world where fate is real and is made by the interweaving of people, that entropy does not exist as some physical force, but instead as selfishness, as isolation. The Dark One is the manifestation of the human evil of separating yourself from the consequences of your interactions with others. In the Dark One's ideal world, there are no connections between people. They still exist. The world still exists, but it is woven not into a pattern, but into a series of isolated threads. The wheel spins out nothing. That's why the Dark One is the ultimate enemy in the Wheel of Time, the ultimate evil of this story, because it is an evil that stands in opposition to the world itself, to the themes of the book, to the themes of the world. That's why I love the Wheel of Time. That's why I love these books, because it stands as one whole world, meaning, action, text, subtext. And there's also the show, quick tangent time. I don't really know how they're gonna handle this in the show, this sort of underlying aspect of the books, which I love. I mean, they're doing a decent job. You need like money and pre-planning to actually pull off this sort of effect. All right, like what actually requires to achieve this is some sort of like casting miracle. Because in a show, you don't want to bring people on temporarily for a small role now on the hopes that you can cast them back in later, because you don't know if they're gonna still be available. You can't keep people on retainer for like 10 years. They might, die or have to work for someone else or be otherwise indisposed. That means that for this show, they can't really cast the people with bigger roles later early on and weave them back in and throughout. Well, I mean, they can. It's possible, and they should, and they have to. But I don't know if they will or will be able to. It's interesting. I really like what season 3's been doing. I've liked season 3 a lot. I hope they can keep up the pace. I hope they get renewed, but I just love the Wheel of Time. The story is brilliant. That's basically all I have to say on this topic. Remember to like and subscribe. Do it. Do it, like and subscribe. Do it. Feed it. Feed it, Void. Feed it. Interweave yourself with this pattern of existence. The wheel weaves as the wheel wills. Alright, take it easy.